The most asked question by far I get on my channel is how do I take the art from my sketchbook into the beautiful mock-ups you see on my videos? The fast answer is I use an app called Smartest. And for today's video, I reached out to them so they would partner with me so I can show you how you use the app to take your art from your sketchbook into these beautiful mock-ups. But not only that, how I use the app to show my collectors how my art would look under real walls like the one we have behind me. So today we're going through the whole process. We're going to paint something in the sketchbook. We're going to create some beautiful mock-ups, and then we're going to choose a favorite and have it professionally print as a large piece of wall art so that I can hang it in my wall behind me. But of course, to do that, the first thing we have to do is grab our sketchbooks and get creative. Here's my sketchbook, and after taping a border, I'm going to start using very watered down watercolor to cover the whole background. I want to paint a landscape, so I'm just going to put some colors down first, very loosely, really enjoying the process. Once those first layers dry, I start to paint over them, giving the composition definition. Remember, this Sketchbook Ideas video is a little bit different because all of the ideas I'm painting are more about the type of art I want to see in the space I showed you in the intro. So I'm going to use a limited color palette as I try different things I would like to see on that wall. Once my first layers were dry, I added an extra layer on top with some lines and details, painting delicate lines for texture. Then remove my tape, and to be honest, although I like it, it's not what I was going for. It's kind of seemed different in my head. I did honestly have a little artistic tantrum for quote unquote messing up the first painting for this video. How embarrassing. But since the page has something on the back anyhow, I could not rip it off. So I calmed myself down and decided to even keep this footage in the video and show you how I started over. Again, started by painting the background with super watered down paint, but this time I'm painting the horizon line way lower. I think that's gonna work better. Same practice, just adding colors, and as they dry, I'm layering more lines to create an abstract landscape. When everything was super dry, I went through the same process of adding lines and details. Removed the tape, and okay, this one I like a lot. You can see the difference between the two. I really like the lower horizon line better, so now I'm going to show you how I take this page and use Smartest app to see how it would look hanging on a wall at a much larger scale. Fun! Now that I've taken the picture with my phone, let me share my screen so you can see the process. As you're going to see, I don't even need to take a perfect picture because once in the app, I can just select the corners and it will straighten everything for me. It adjusts it perfectly. Then it's time to add dimensions. Of course, you are meant to add the actual dimensions of your piece to see it in a space, but I love having fun with it and changing the dimensions to a larger scale to see my work as huge art. Another great thing is that right in the app, you can adjust the photo settings so you can get more likeness. Once you're happy with how your piece looks, you'll hit done and it will automatically show it in a space. And here's where the fun really starts, because you can go into interiors and choose so many different interiors to display your artwork in. This helps your collectors or yourself to really see how beautiful your work is. And once you choose an image, you export it and done. You have a beautiful mock-up of your artwork in a space. Now, before showing you how I'm going to put these sketchbook ideas on my actual wall using this app, let's move to the second idea I wanted to try today. I want to try a floral design, so I start by painting a large loose flower. And as I do that, I wanted to share something with you. My channel is almost at 50,000 subscribers, which would be like, what? How? Wow. We are at 45,000 right now, so if this video is serving you and you like my content and my videos, please consider subscribing because hitting that goal and growing my channel really helps me in bringing you better quality videos and being able to reach out to companies to create more content like this. Plus, it makes me really happy. So yeah, sorry for the plug, but I'm so excited that this might actually happen. Back to my floral page. Once I had the first layer with the flower and the leaves loosely on, I decided to try to add some reds and maroons on top, creating more petals and also giving more dimension to the flower. I thought it would be fun to introduce a different color to my chosen palette, at least to try it. Then I painted the background with a very dark color, intentionally leaving a tiny space between it and the flowers to show the edges of dried color. To finish this idea, I'm using a thinner brush to create lines on top of the petals. This gives the flower more interest and allows me to be playful as I paint these offset from what I've already painted underneath. I also use the lines to go over the leaves and to create extra elements. I really like painting flowers like this on my portrait, so I thought I would try to see how a single flower would look as the whole painting. Remove the tape, and this is how that floral piece looks. Now, to mock it on my actual wall is really easy. All I have to do is take a picture of my space, and then I go on to Smartest app and hit the plus sign again and choose interior. Then I drag the corners and select the wall on which the artwork would go on. And after that, I input the length of the wall. Now the wall will be in my saved interiors, and as you can see, it will immediately make me able to see this last painting on the wall. This is the first piece I'm seeing on my wall, and I'm not sure about it. So I decided I would try all pages on my wall at the end and see them side by side to choose which I would print on a larger scale. Let's see if you agree with the one I chose. So on to the next idea, and another thing I really wanted to have on that wall is a tree. For this idea, I'm also playing with the horizon line. I'm painting the background, and this time I'm having a really high horizon. And I'm adding a lot of saturated colors to all of the area that would be the ground, since I'm going to put some cling wrap on top. I found this technique works best when the color is super saturated. So I put the plastic on top, let it dry, and when I remove it, I have this interesting texture I'm working on top of. I painted a little tree on the middle of the page. I wanted to have a huge ground, earthy space for the tree to sit on top of. I started to add details and work on top of the textured ground, using it as a guide as I complete my artwork, adding more color here and there. The tree needed some attention too, so I worked on it more. Remove the tape, and here's that tree looking beautiful on a different space because remember, we are putting it on mine at the end to compare it with all the options. Next idea, I wanted to do something more abstract, so I started by painting a curved line. I've done this a lot on my sketchbook videos and on my private art practice because I deeply enjoy it. When I paint for myself, this is one of my favorite color combinations, so I thought I would do it here because it would look nice with the living room's aesthetic. I'm playing with greens, purples, browns, and of course my fave, Payne's Gray. Just following that first line, flowing and adding more and more pigment until I was happy with it. Once dried, I used a black liner brush pen to draw on top or next to some of the lines left by the dried colors. This is something I love to do. It's super relaxing and it always yields beautiful organic results. After I was done going over some of the lines left by the paint, I added a few lines of my own, getting creative. Remove the tape and let's look at this one as a mock-up, and it looks gorgeous. I was super excited. So now, using my fabulous Smartest app, we can compare all of these ideas on my actual wall, side by side, and after looking at them, I like the abstract the most. Because I am printing this in such a large scale, I'm taking a picture of it with my professional camera. I want to send the best possible image to the print shop. For larger prints, you need to do this or have a high-res scan. So a few weeks later, I got my huge print back from the printers, and here I am hanging it. Now, are you noticing it yet? It took me a while to notice because for me, a few weeks had passed between painting and getting the print back. So I hung it, and as I stepped back, I was super happy because, of course, it looks exactly like I predicted it would with my Smartest app. I was so happy about the result, and I was filming it for a good while before realizing I sent the wrong file to the printers. Instead of sending the picture of the small artwork I created on my sketchbook, I actually sent a photo of this original I painted on my large sketchbook. I had the file because it's listed for sale on my Sachi profile, and I just got confused. They are both pretty similar because after doing the pages for this video, I wanted to paint that idea up again in a larger piece of paper with nothing on the back. Luckily, from this mock-up and the real picture, you can see both paintings look great, so I'm still very happy with the one I chose. If you like it too, both original and giant print are going to be listed for sale in my site linked on the description. And that's it from me today. Thank you again to Smartest for partnering with me and bringing you this video. I hope you found it useful. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next Friday. Hope you're having the most wonderful day. Bye!